Today, we're diving into a beginner-friendly sewing project that's perfect for adding a personal touch to your dining table. Sewing your own table napkins. Hey there, sewing friends! Welcome back to Sewing Saturday, Episode 4. Today's video is a continuation of the previous 3 episodes. We have discussed the basic sewing tools that every beginner should have, as well as the basic parts of the sewing machine. Plus, we discussed how to thread the sewing machine as well. If you haven't been able to sew anything since unboxing your sewing machine, the perfect way to get confident with your sewing skills is by, of course, practicing. And the best way to do that is to start with a beginner-friendly project, a table napkin. Making table napkins is a practical project, especially for beginners. And making them is the best way to practice sewing straight stitches. Aside from making pillowcases, this is a good way to go. Before we get started, let's gather our materials. You will need a fabric of your choice. Something lightweight and easy to wash works best. Cotton or linen fabrics are the best as they're also easy to sew with. And you can opt for a plain fabric or a printed one like this. You'll also need fabric and paper scissors, a clipper, sewing pins, a ruler or a measuring tape, fabric marker, or a chalk, an iron, and a pressing mat. Additionally, you will need a pattern paper and a pencil for pattern making if you want to create a simple pattern, and of course, a sewing machine. The machine I will be working with is the Brother NV2700. This is a fantastic sewing machine which I love to sew with. And did I mention that this is also an embroidery sewing machine? If you want to know more about the NV2700, I have an unboxing video for you that you can watch for later. And if you're interested in getting one, take my word for it. It's outstanding. So the very first thing that we will do is cut our fabric. I would choose this fabric for our table napkin. So table napkins are usually 18 by 20 inches in size, but you can actually choose your own dimensions. So cut your fabric into 18.5 by 20.5 inches rectangle. This will include the seam allowance. If you don't want to cut directly on the fabric, you can draw the dimensions of the rectangle on a piece of pattern paper, cut it out, pin it on top of your fabric, and cut. Either way will work just fine. Once you have your fabric cut, it's time to fold and press. Starting with one side, we will fold the fabric 1/4 of an inch towards the wrong side of the fabric. That's the side that's either faded or the side that doesn't have the print. Then, using an iron, we will press the fold to keep it in place. Once done, we will then again fold the fabric 1/4 of an inch and press using an iron once again. To secure the edge and prevent it from unfolding, we will use sewing pins to keep the fold in place. Then off to the sewing machine. We will sew the edge of the folded part to permanently secure it in place using a straight stitch. So place your fabric and position the edge of the fold along the 1/4 inch mark line. Lower the presser foot and then bring down the needle like so. It's always a good idea to start sewing with your needle down. Start slowly by gently stepping on the foot pedal. Sew about 2 to 3 stitches or so, then backstitch. This is to secure the thread so the stitches doesn't rip apart later on. So always backstitch when sewing. Once you pick up the pace, you can start increasing the sewing speed. Also, instead of focusing on the needle, focus your eyes on the edge of the fabric, making sure that you're still sewing along the seam allowance guide. This is the easiest way to achieve accurate sewing results and prevents you from swerving while sewing. Continue sewing along while removing the pins as you go. And once you've reached the end, backstitch once again to secure the stitching. One side done. You can proceed in finishing off the rest. Do the same for the other sides by measuring 1/4 of an inch, fold, then press, then fold another 1/4 of an inch, press, then pin to secure them temporarily. You should end up with a neat looking table napkin such as this. This is a good way to practice and get confident with your sewing machine. You can create more in matching prints or in plain fabric if you're a minimalist. And once you become confident, you can then tackle other sewing projects such as making pillowcases or hemming your curtains, for instance, for a more practical and easier project. So there you have it, friends, a simple and practical project for you that will surely elevate your sewing skills further. Keep practicing those straight stitching and prepare yourself for more upcoming projects here at Sewing Saturday. It's Julius here with you. I will see you on the next one. Until then, happy sewing!